Welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into something absolutely critical but often unseen, India's air defense system. We're aiming to really unpack how a major nation, especially one in such a complex region, guards its skies.
Right. Our mission for you, really, is to get a solid grasp on how this multi-layered system works, and importantly, understand why it's considered, one of the most advanced out there. It can seem complicated, but we'll break it down.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning. Why is air defense so fundamentally important for any country? Seems obvious, but let's lay it out.
Well, it's the first line of defense against aerial threats, obviously. But it goes beyond just shooting things down. It's about deterrence. And for India, this isn't theoretical. You look at the map, you see two nuclear-armed neighbors, China and Pakistan. The threats aren't just potential. They range from conventional fighter jets all the way to sophisticated cruise missiles and now potentially hypersonic weapons.
Hypersonics, wow.
Exactly. So this context doesn't just suggest a need for defense. It absolutely mandates a really robust, multi-layered shield. The stakes are incredibly high.
Okay, multi-layered shield. That sounds key. So India's approach isn't just about buying one big system.
No, not at all. It's about building this tiered structure, almost like an invisible dome, as some describe it. And what's really interesting is how they're doing it, mixing homegrown tech from DRDO, their Defense Research and Development Organization.
Right, the indigenous element.
Yeah, with some of the best foreign technology available. It's a strategic blend.
So this invisible dome, what's it actually made of? What are the components protecting cities, air bases, critical infrastructure?
Well, you've got several key elements working together. Think long-range interceptors reaching way out. Then you have medium and short-range surface-to-air missiles, or SAMs, for threats that get closer. Underpinning all that is a huge network of radars constantly scanning.
Seeing everything.
Trying to, yes. Plus, airborne surveillance aircraft, like eyes in the sky. And crucially, sophisticated command and control systems tying it all together.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's get into the specifics then, the actual hardware.
Yeah.
What are the key systems in India's arsenal?
Right, the nuts and bolts. Let's start with the big one. The S-400 Triumph, acquired from Russia. This is widely seen as one of maybe the most powerful long-range air defense systems globally.
Its range is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Extremely. Up to 400 kilometers. That gives India the ability to engage threats, deep inside adversary territory, potentially, or certainly far from its own borders. And it's versatile aircraft, cruise missiles, even some types of ballistic missiles.
And India bought several of these.
Yes, a major deal, about $5.4 billion for 5 units. 3 are already operational. It creates what some analysts call a deadly umbrella. Really shifts the strategic balance.
Okay, S-400 is the long-range cornerstone. What about the homegrown systems? You mentioned DRDO, the Akash system.
Absolutely. The Akash is a really important indigenous system. It's a medium-range SAM, I think 25 to 30 kilometers effective range. Key advantages are its mobility and how quickly it can be deployed. That makes it very useful in fluid situations.
And it's been successful enough to export.
Yes, to Armenia, for instance. That's a significant vote of confidence in the system's capabilities.
Then there are collaborations, right? Like the Barak 8 system.
Exactly. Barak 8 is a joint India-Israel project. It's another advanced system, more long-range than Akash, say 70 to over 100 kilometers. It's known for high accuracy against modern threats, used by both the Indian Navy and the Air Force.
So covering different ranges, different threats. What about things getting really close, really fast? Low-flying aircraft or drones?
For that, you have systems like the Israeli Spidery. It's short-range, very quick reaction time, designed to take down low-flying targets, drones, aircraft within seconds. Crucial for things like border skirmishes.
Okay, so we have long, medium, short-range SAMs.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned ballistic missiles earlier. That's a whole different challenge.
It absolutely is, and this is where India joins a very select group of nations, US, Russia, Israel, with its own ballistic missile defense, or BMD system, again developed by DRDO.
That's quite an achievement. How does it work?
It's a two-tier system. You have the PAD, Prithvi Air Defense, for intercepts high up in the atmosphere, around 80 kilometers altitude. And then there's the AAD, Advanced Air Defense, for lower altitude threats, maybe around 30 kilometers.
So 2 shots at an incoming ballistic missile.
Essentially, yes. It provides an end-to-end solution.
Yeah.
The idea is to engage the incoming threat at different points in its trajectory, maximizing the chance of a successful intercept. It's incredibly complex technology.
It really sounds like it. Okay, so we have all these interceptors, these different layers. But having the missiles is one thing, knowing when, where to shoot is another. Let's talk about the brains, the surveillance and command systems you mentioned.
You're absolutely right. That's the critical enabler. Without seeing the threat and coordinating the response, the missiles are, well, just missiles. So first, you have systems like the Nitra AEWNC, that's Airborne Early Warning and Control.
Built by DRDO.
Yes, mounted on Brazilian Embraer jets. These are basically flying radar stations. They detect threats hundreds of kilometers away. And they don't just detect, they can also coordinate the defense, acting as command posts in the sky.
And there's another system, the Falcon.
Right, the Falcon AWES-CS. This is an Israeli radar system, but it's mounted on the larger Russian IL-76 aircraft. It provides a broader, more powerful surveillance picture. Think real-time command and control for large, complex air battles. Gives commanders that comprehensive view.
Okay, so eyes in the sky. But how does all this information from ground radars, from Nitra, from Falcon get fused together? How are decisions made?
That's the job of the IACCS, the Integrated Air Command and Control System. Think of it as the digital nervous system, the brain, really. It links everything, all the radars, the missile batteries, the command centers, aircraft.
Across the Air Force, Navy, Army.
It aims for that integration, yes. The goal is a unified air picture, and the payoff is speed. It allows for much faster data fusion, decision-making, and directing the right weapon to the right target in real time. In air defense, seconds count.
That integration sounds like a massive force multiplier. Okay, this is all incredibly impressive, the current setup, but technology doesn't stand still. Adversaries develop new capabilities, faster missiles, stealthier drones, maybe swarm tactics. How is India looking ahead? What's being done to future-proof this shield?
That's a constant process, of course. They're definitely not resting on their laurels. One major project is the XR-SAM, that stands for Extra Long Range Surface-to-Air Missile. The idea is to develop an indigenous system that fills any perceived gaps between the medium-range Akash and the very long-range S-400.
So even longer reach, potentially.
Potentially, or perhaps covering specific types of threats better at long ranges. Details are still emerging. Then there's the huge challenge of hypersonic weapons. Like everyone else, India is exploring anti-hypersonic technologies. That's a cutting-edge field.
And what about smaller threats? Drones are becoming ubiquitous.
Right. They're investing heavily in laser-based defense systems. These could offer a cost-effective way to deal with large numbers of drones or even small rockets. Directed energy weapons.
Lasers, wow. And I read something about potentially deploying systems like Israel's Iron Dome.
Yes, there's active consideration of that or similar systems, providing point defense for major cities like Delhi or Mumbai, and additional layers specifically designed for shorter range rockets and mortar threats.
So constantly adding layers, adapting the technology.
Exactly, it's an ongoing evolution.
This has been fascinating. It really paints a picture of India's air defense as, no, more than just hardware. It's a complex, integrated system, a statement of strategic capability, and deterrence.
I think that's right, and what stands out is this blend pushing indigenous development, like with Akash and the BMD, while also strategically acquiring top-tier tech, like the S-400, and collaborating, like with Barak 8. That combination is really forging one of the most robust and technologically advanced air defense networks globally. It shows real strategic planning.
So as we wrap up, here's something to think about. We've talked about current and near-future threats. But what completely unforeseen challenges might emerge in the decades ahead? Think new domains, maybe space-based threats or AI-driven autonomous swarms, unlike anything we conceive of now. How does a nation like India ensure its multi-layered shield can adapt to protect against the truly unknown unknowns?